Hi boys and girls, I hope everyone is doing well. I wanted to make this video so that we can go over our foundations letters. So I will be making multiple videos until we're done with all of our foundations letters. I know the last letter that we went over before we had to leave school was the letter O. So I hope some of you, if not all of you, have been practicing your letters at home. If not, it's okay. We're going to do it together right now. We are going to start with letter P and Q today. Um, if you've been working on them at home, that's great. If not, it's okay. We'll do it together right now. So first, what I want us to do is go over the letters that we've already done in class together. So we'll start from the beginning. We'll say it together. A, apple, A. B, bat, B. C, cat, K. D, dog, D. E, ed, E. F, fun, F. G, game, G. H, hat, H. I, itch, I. J, jug, J. K, kite, K. L, lamp, L. M, man, M. N, nut, N. O, octopus, Ah. And right now we're going to be going over P, pan, P. And Q, queen, Qu. Now, if you look at this picture of the Q, it has an extra letter. We'll talk about that once we get to that letter. Right now, let's focus on P. So here we are. P, pan, P. P, pan, P. This right here is our letter. The name of our letter is P. The word that we are going to be talking about, or the picture that we're going to be talking about with the letter P, is pan. And the sound that P makes is P. Now let's look at how to write it. Let me grab a marker. Uppercase P, like all of our uppercase letters, start at the skyline. So we are going to point to the skyline. We're going to go down to the grass line. We're going to stop, then start back up at the skyline and go around to the plane line. P, pan, P. Okay, now we're going to try and make it again. We're going to start at the skyline. We're going to go down to the grass line. We're going to stop, start back up at the skyline, and go around to the plane line. P, pan, P. Good. Now let's look at lowercase p. Lowercase p is a plain line round letter. It starts on the plane line. So we're going to point to the plane line. We're going to go down to the worm line. Okay, now don't pick up your marker. You're going to trace back up to the plane line and curve all the way around to the grass line. P, pan, P. So this one's a little bit different. We don't pick up our marker when we get down to the worm line. We keep our marker or our pencil on the paper and we trace back up. So let's try that again. Ready? We're going to point to the plane line. We're going to go down to the worm line. Trace back up to the plane line and curve all the way around to the grass line. P, pan, P. Very good. Now here are some words that start with P. P is for pizza. P is for pencils. P is for paint. P is for puppies. P is for popcorn. P is for parrot. P is for pig. And P is for pie. Very good. Q, queen, qua. So, for the Q, you see that there's an extra letter right next to it. And that's because most words that start with Q have a U next to it. Q is the name of the letter. Queen is the picture or the word that we're going to be using. And for the sound, we need to have the U next to it to make the qua sound. Q, queen, qua. But when we're writing it, we're just going to write the letter Q. So this is the uppercase Q. Okay. So we're going to point to the skyline. We're going to trace back, then down, around to the grass line, and around back up to the skyline. I'm going to stop. And then in between the plain line and the grass line, we're going to make a tail for the Q. Queen, Q, queen, qua. Now let's try and make it on our own. We're going to start at the skyline. We're going to trace back. Oops, let's try that again. Let me erase that. I'm going to start at the skyline, trace back and around the grass line, back up to the skyline. I'm going to stop. I'm going to start in between the plain line and the grass line, and I'm going to make a tail. Q, queen, qua. Now let's look at the lowercase q. The lowercase q is a plain line round letter, and it starts on the plain line. Okay, we're going to point to the plain line. We're going to trace back and go down to the grass line, around, and back up to the plain line. Then we're going to trace back down to the worm line and point up. Q, queen, qua. Now let's try that again. Point to the plain line, trace back and go down to the grass line, around, back up to the plain line, trace back down to the worm line, and point up. Q, queen, qua. Here are some Q words. Q is for quarter. Q is for quail. It's a type of bird. Q is for question mark. When we're asking a question, we're writing a sentence with a question, we need to make sure it has a question mark. Q is for queen. Q is for quilt, and Q is for quartz. That's a type of rock.